There are no shortcuts to getting wealthy, but there are shortcuts to making easy financial decisions. The kinds of decisions that are going to take you from $0 net worth to $1 million net worth. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. I want to make sure you know how to automate and make your financial life easy so that you don't have to stress about it every day. So let's go talk about how you can make good financial decisions with none of the worry. Let's get into the things that you can do in your financial life that are actually going to move the needle. The first thing that we're going to focus on is automation. And this is actually the genius of the 401k plan, okay? So you'll see people on TikTok that are telling you that 401ks are a scam and they're the worst thing. 401ks are probably the best retirement savings vehicle, period. And the reason for that isn't necessarily any fantastic investment returns or any amazing tax advantages. The reason is that the 401k contributions come out of your paycheck before it lands in your bank account. So you never actually see that money. It's automatic. If you want to replicate that and you don't necessarily have access to a 401k, it's actually really easy. I bet whatever platform you use for investing, maybe it's Robinhood, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Wells Fargo, they probably have a way to automate transferring money from your bank account into your investment accounts. So whether it's through your 401k or through a different provider like Fidelity, you're going to want to go in and you can set up automatic investing and automatic withdrawals from your bank account. Now, the most important thing that we're looking for here when we're automating is we want to make all of the decisions as easy as possible for you to become wealthy. If you wait to the end of the month every month and you have to make that painful decision to transfer a few hundred or a couple $1,000s out of your checking account, it's going to make it way more difficult. But if it's coming out at the beginning of the month and you don't have that money in there to start with, you don't even have to worry about whether or not you're saving for your retirement. So automate as much as you can of your financial picture. This actually applies to other things as well. If you have a credit card, you want to set up autopay. If you have a mortgage, same thing. Put it on autopay. If you have bills with the utilities company, put them on autopay. And all of that is going to help make sure that not only are you keeping up with payments, but you're also not paying more high interest debt than you have to. So automate as much as you can as your financial life, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Once you have everything as automated as you can, you might think that you're able to just step back and not worry about your finances anymore. And that's not actually the point. The point is that we're able to redirect your attention from these decisions that could just happen automatically and redirect them to things that can't really happen automatically. And one of those biggest things is your spending decisions. So I call this section Check Your Checking because I actually want you to go into your checking account once a day or once every other day and just see how much money is in there. And the main reason we're doing this is not to get you to obsess over the amount of money you have or worry about the amount of money you have, but it's so that you're aware of how much are you actually spending every day. How much is actually leaving your bank account? Are you putting yourself at risk of having to go get a payday loan or having to go rack up your credit card debt? Okay? So we want to track and be aware of how much we're spending, so that whenever you go to the store and you're prompted with the opportunity to make a purchase, you already know if you can afford it or not, because you know exactly how much money you're dealing with. And it makes it a lot harder to make those quick in-the-moment decisions that are going to put you into credit card debt. Because if you say, hey, I know I don't have those $500 to buy that PS5, it's going to be a lot harder to justify. So check your checking. Make sure you're tracking your spending. Make sure you know where your money is going. And then another thing along the same lines, this is a little bit controversial, but if you're having trouble with credit card debt, or if you're having trouble with spending in general, even if you're not carrying a balance on your credit card, I would just say skip the credit card entirely. Or if you are going to have a credit card, pay it off every week. And the reasoning behind that is the same as check your checking. One of the difficult things about having a credit card, especially if you have multiple credit cards, is it makes it a little bit difficult to track how much money you actually have. If I have $1,000 in my bank account, but I have $2,000 on credit cards, I'm actually net negative as far as cash goes, and we never want to be that. So paying off your credit card every week makes it so that when you check your bank account, you're actually seeing an up-to-date reality of what your financial situation is like, instead of getting a 2 months back look at what your spending was. And that helps you, again, stay more focused on what your actual financial picture is and help you make good decisions automatically when the opportunity comes to you. And then this final decision is, again, thinking about spending. One of the biggest habits that you can set that's going to make it easy to make good financial decisions is to think about what you need and not necessarily what you want. There's a lot of academic research out there that shows that buying things has a little spike in your happiness that very quickly goes away. And that includes things like buying a house, cars, and of course all of these smaller things like phones, watches, gadgets. They're not going to make you happy long term. So when you're thinking about the things that you're buying, make the decision based on what you need and not what you want. A good example of this is cars. Okay, if I go to the car dealership, okay, and I ask them, how much car can I afford? Even on a pretty modest income, they're probably going to be able to figure out a way to get you to qualify for a car that's maybe $50,000, maybe $60,000, and maybe even more than that, especially once you take into account fees and add-ons that they're going to put there. But this $60,000 car is going to drive you around just as well as a $10,000 10-year-old Honda Civic is going to. You might want this, and you might even justify it and say you can afford this, but it doesn't actually provide any benefit to your quality of life. When you're thinking about these, especially these big purchases, well, think about what do I need? And most of the time when you think, do I need this? Which is a little bit of a cliche question, but do I need this can save you tens of thousands of dollars in the right situation. And buying what you need allows you to focus spending your money on the things that matter most. It allows you to save more for your future so you can buy back your time in retirement. It allows you to spend on experiences and things that actually matter to you. So when you're thinking about making purchases, especially large ones, make sure you're getting what you need, not necessarily what you can afford. So now you know the shortcuts that you can use to get you from a $0 net worth to $1 million net worth. And if this was helpful, I would appreciate it if you give us a like and a subscribe. We're putting out weekly personal finance content for you so that you can know how to build wealth yourself. And if you're looking for your own financial planner, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description.